You have two really bad games, in and out effort. Well, you got 3 games left in conference. Then you got the conference tournament. So when you're going through a tough time like this, you got to step back and get clear vision and not let the emotion of the loss take you, into a deep place where you can't recover. We know what we have. We have a good team. We've seen flashes of good play. And I just want to be clear, Fresno State, it's a really good team. And so with San Diego State, they played their best game of the season. I don't care what their record is. They played their best game of the season when they beat us. So we ran up against 2 buzzsaws, but there's no excuse for some of the things that are occurring statistically, like the turnovers. You got 10 turnovers at half here. You got 14 turnovers at half the last game. And I think that can be fixed. I've been coaching a while, and I feel pretty good about video or film and the teaching part of that. Some of that, we could tweak a little bit and maybe do some things to put us in a position to be a little more successful. I thought we had really good looks at the rim tonight, but the ones that we didn't have, it was pretty good Fresno State defense as a result of not having a good look. And we had guys open that said, hey, I'm open. Yeah, well, that's not early in the shot clock and you're taking quick shots without. That's the kind of team you have to move bodies and you gotta move the ball and because they really do a phenomenal job with all that experience of getting in those lane lines and jabbing at the ball and stealing the ball. And so the technical things that are running through my mind right now, I feel like I, meaning my staff and myself, can make some corrections on that. So kind of a long opening statement, but obviously I'm not going to get down and frustrated beyond the point where it's detrimental to our progress. You know what I'm saying? We got to coach these young men up, and we got to get them ready. I'll let the naysayers and non-believers, there'll be enough of that chatter amongst themselves. I don't need to get involved with that. I love my kids. I feel bad for them that they haven't been successful the last couple games, but I feel worse because they haven't had the type of effort that they had the 4 games prior to that, where they were really trending in the right direction. And so I did see some good things in the second half, so I feel good about that. We held them to 39% shooting in the second half, and we missed shots. Unfortunately, with young players, I think sometimes it's part of your youth is you're motivated by your offense. And so when they don't see the ball go in, they don't play as high octane as it takes them a little while to get to the next possession defensively. So, all right, open it up for questions.
Talk about your thoughts on the defense and their ability to get in the paint so easily tonight and score.
Right. They're really good at bouncing the ball. And then our ball screen defense was hot and cold. We couldn't consistently do a good job with it. I'd be curious to go back and look through all the ball screens and see how we handled them numerically. Mike will probably do that for me and break that down for me, but I should just put him on staff with all his analytics. But we'll figure that out and figure out where were the blemishes in that and fix that part. But I thought that I didn't think we did a bad job on our just pure post defense and protecting the blocks, except on Williams. Boy, he's a good player. Yeah, Bryson he's a pro, in my opinion. He's a big time player, and he only played 25 minutes and was just kicking our tails. He makes tough shots, makes shots with contact. Then we got to keep them off the free throw line. They did I don't know how many free throws they shot, 33, but that was another thing that we know this team is good at. But fortunately for us, we got to the free throw line as well. So,
are you concerned at all with the past 2 games with the confidence and snowballing into, the final 3 games?
Yeah, am I concerned? Yeah, you're always concerned about what could potentially happen negative, but you're also concerned about how do you get them to right the ship, right? I mean, like, how do we figure that out? I don't know if concern's the right word, though, Mark. I would say I'm aware that it's there. I'm not concerned about it. I typically have our teams playing their best basketball, when that tournament gets here. And we've had a couple losses, in prior years. In my tenure, we have a couple bad losses before that tournament. 2 of the years I think that we won at New Mexico State, the tournament, we had like 1 or 2 really bad losses going right into the tournament. That's like a whole different season when the tournament starts. So, I think they'll be ready to play in March for sure. But we got to get better before then. We got 3 real opportunities of the rivalry game, a tough road game at Logan, a tough road game at the Pit against 2 teams that are playing really good basketball right now as well. So it doesn't get any easier. But we saw this on the schedule coming ahead, so we just need to make sure we play better basketball.
Do you have any reason or idea why the effort hasn't been as good the last 2 games?
I don't know if it's all effort. I think some of it's, I think they're bogging themselves down a little bit with maybe the scout or maybe, again, the ball not going in the basket, not seeing that ball go in. I don't know exactly. I'm going to visit with them and find out. But I don't know if it's just pure effort. I think there's some other things clogging them up a little bit. They got to play freer, They got to play freer, and we got to get out and run. Hey, we stopped running a little bit, and I don't know why. That was something that we were hanging our hats on earlier, And the last 2 games, we just kind of, why wouldn't you take the ball out quickly and get up the court? Fresno State did a good job mucking it up a little bit right on the inbound, right? So that added to it. So that's something that we got to fix if we get a chance to play them again. New Mexico will do it. So this will make us address that because we got to get out and we got to go.
Do you change or evaluate the way you're getting them ready for games?
No, I mean, the routine was the same that was working. You know what I mean? So I guess maybe you could look at it or talk to them and get with our trainers. Do you guys have your legs? Or, is it that time of year where they need – this is the grind time for every school in the United States. This is the grind. And you have to be able to push through this wall. So I don't know that it's working them harder. It could be working them harder. Could be saving their legs and changing the routine a little bit. Some of those things we'll go back and look at and discuss as a staff and get with the trainer as well, and strength and conditioning guy, and check our numbers and see where we're at.
Okay, so you've already mentioned Fresno State's defense. Can you talk about the first couple of minutes of the game where it didn't seem to be any real offensive rhythm? Do you feel like it was something in their scheme, or do you feel like it was their size?
I was both. I mean, I thought it was tough for us to guard their big guards. Those guys were getting in the paint and shooting over our guards when we had our smaller guards in. They are really good at getting downhill. They're one of the best teams in the country at getting to the free throw line and making free throws and so forth. So that they play to their strength. Typically we're that's one of our strengths as a coaching staff. I think we still have pretty high numbers in that area, but tonight they were just more efficient when they got to the paint.
And you say pretty much every season, you say all season long, in particular this season, that basketball is a game of runs. It seemed like the run kind of never came for the Rebels today.
Right.
Can you kind of just talk about how frustrating that is?
Well, the loss is frustrating, and the bits and pieces that occur during the game are just moments of evaluation to teach the kids to get them better. So I'd have to really go break down the tape to tell you why they didn't come. But I felt like we had good looks. We had some wide open shots, and, they just didn't fall. So,
Coach, the guard play specifically, JoJo, obviously a tough ball game. Jordan as well, too. Also, Chris struggled offensively. Is it more about just getting these guys in the right spots on the floor offensively, or is it more about Fresno State from a defensive standpoint?
I think it was a little bit of both, not to just tiptoe out of the answer, but I do think that Fresno State's defense is probably the best in the conference. I think they're the toughest, most physical team in the conference. I think San Diego State is the most athletic and has probably the most solid defense, in my opinion, the way they match up with us. But Fresno State is a more physical, tougher tougher team to play against because of their physicality and their size at the guard spots and their versatility in Bryson. And they've got 3 different bigs that play different games. And so they're a tougher matchup, I think.
Coach, you've said that it's your task to get your guys not being discouraged and not being disheartened. At this point of the season, how daunting is that?
Well, it depends on the character of your kids, whether they're going to buy into to what I'm selling. I think that, it's a game. And if they think it's life and death, then it's going to be really hard. But if they play for the love of the game and they play to get better and they play to learn and they play for each other, then I think the bounce back will be relatively seamless. I thought actually we were going to play better basketball tonight. And I just didn't see it a lot, largely due to, how Rodney prepared his team. They did a great job. You just can't take – it's not just all us not playing well. I mean, they had a lot to do with it. And they're a good team, man. Experienced, tough. They do some good things.
Coach, the other night after San Diego, you said, I love my guys, but I didn't like the way that they performed tonight. Are you impressed and satisfied with the way that they performed tonight? No,
of course not. I still love them. But, they're not satisfied. I think anytime you lose a game, it shouldn't feel good, right? And you should feel that's why you play the game. You play the games to win the game. So, but I don't think that they're defeated. I still feel pretty good about the fact that they know that they can play better basketball, and I think they're down because they didn't the last couple games, especially here at home tonight. Going into the tough game on Sunday and then the rivalry game, we've got to have some heart-to-heart conversations and some technical conversations to try to get them to do some things better.
You like to use the metaphor tempo to describe how you guys play. What kind of beat did you guys play tonight?
Well, our rhythm, I like to say rhythm and tempo offensively was herky-jerky because of what they did. I thought defensively they did some good things. And I felt like we didn't really get out and run at the pace that we wanted to. And it was largely because of the turnovers. Whenever you have turnovers and then whenever you have many fouls, there were 60, how many fouls were there called tonight? 33 and 35, 68 fouls, or free throws, I should say. Is that right? Yeah, that's a lot of free throws. And it's hard to get into a flow when the game is starting to stop as much as it is. Anything else? Got one over here.
Hey, Coach, you said you were happy with the shot selection tonight, but a lot of times I was seeing them shooting shots with 20, 18, 16 seconds to go on the shot clock. Was that by design, or was that based on the way the way Fresno State was defending you?
Yeah. No, I wasn't really happy with the shot selection. I think I might have misspoke. I thought that we had a lot of good shots, good open looks, but not necessarily great shot selection. I mean, we only ended up with 10 assists. We want to try to get 20 assists. So that means that there still had too many me shots in there. But again, some of that's on us that we could fix, and some of that's on Fresno State doing a great job. So we've got to, really break the film down like we always do. Give them a great cleanup film session tomorrow where they can see like, oh man, yeah. Because if they could visually see it, it's a better way to learn. So instead of us just telling them, we got to show them as well. Then we got to get out on the floor and execute it and get that feel good again. I thought we had pretty good practice. Monday, Tuesday was okay. So I expected a better performance. I knew we were going against a tough team, but I thought we would play a little better to start the game, and that was the surprising thing. I think we got a little shell-shocked again, and then it was a little bit, there was probably a little bit carryover from the last game to this game. And then it was almost like at halftime, whoa, we gotta get going. But it still took them a while even into that half to do it. I mean, they still had a pretty good sizable lead for the most of the half. I mean, we fought a little bit at the end. That's the one good thing I will say about these guys. It may not seem like it because of the final score, but they kept fighting, man. They kept trying. And that's why I don't know if I would say they didn't play hard. They just didn't play well. What are you going to do, you know? It's a process. It's a process, my friends, and we're going through it. But I been here before and feel good about the future still. And, I mean, there were several times I looked out there. There was 3, 4 freshmen on the floor going against, 3 seniors. It's just it's how you build a program. You got to bring in the guys that we're bringing in and get them better. And then you got to add some more guys. I mean, we got a good plan in place. We just got to keep working the plan. We'll be fine. It's just doesn't feel good to go through the growing pains sometimes. So, but we'll keep doing what we do, and we'll keep working hard to get these guys in a position to finish this season strong. It's not the end of the season yet. We got some winning to still attain with the next 3 games, and then also in the tournament. So, hopefully, we'll get on a little bit of a roll and get some fans in here for the rivalry game next Wednesday. All right? Thanks, guys.
Brandon, you look pretty frustrated. What are you feeling after these last 2 games now?
We just got to get better. We just got to limit turnovers and just want it more.
Shakur, is there any explanation for what's happened? I mean, you guys are playing so well for a stretch there, and now these last 2 games just sort of come up and hit you. Can you sort of explain what's happened?
The other team is probably scouting us very well, getting very detailed on the things that we did when we was on the road. They're coming in, they're executing. I applaud the team and the coaching staff. They did a good job tonight. I just feel like, they're just playing a little harder, a little smarter than us. The turnovers definitely show that, and it's not the end of the world, but we'll definitely get back to where we were.
Shakur, what happened in San Diego, was that at all relevant tonight? Was that in your guys' minds at all?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but me, no. I doubt it was on everyone else's mind, but, we just come here to play basketball, and, I mean, what happened out there was San Diego State it happens. It happens to the best of us. We can't hang our heads, and we just had to come in here and play tonight. We felt confident about tonight, but they just came out and they just played good, and there's nothing you really could do about that.
Brandon, what do you guys have to do to fix this so that the rest of the season's not like the last 2 games?
I didn't hear you.
What do you guys have to do to fix this so the rest of the season's not like the last 2 games?
Practice. Yeah. Practice.
For Shakur, what was Marvin preaching to you guys leading up to this game, and what did you guys fail to meet that he wanted you guys to do?
Just trusting each other, trust the process, trust the players, just to go out there and just give it our all, no matter if it's win or lose, just make sure that we fought and that we gave it our all the effort.
You feel like you guys gave it your all tonight?
Partial. I feel like even myself sometimes I didn't give it my all, and I would definitely watch film and look on the things that I did bad and try to execute them better. I just feel like collectively, when they make runs, it's like it like drains you, honestly. When they make good runs and then unbelievable baskets, it's like you don't know what to do. But I mean, sometimes they're fixable and sometimes they're not.
Brandon, with 3 games left in the regular season, is there time for you guys to get back to the level you were playing at, a level where you feel like you can contend for this league?
Yes.
You want to answer?
No, I just said yes.
Absolutely. We don't really gotta. I mean, it was a tough game, but I feel like we hit a wall like this earlier in the season and we got back to it. So I mean, we got a lot of games left. Other than, these last 2, but we got the tournament and stuff, so we can easily turn this around. We got the tools and, the guys and stuff. We just got to get back to the lab.
Shakur, you guys obviously you're down at halftime. What was the mindset, and what did Coach Menzies and his staff talk to you guys about at halftime going into that second half?
Just to not give up. I mean, just pretty much fight. Even though we was down 13, I mean, it was still invisible that that we can come out and we can turn it around. And, you know, it was second half, we just had a lot of turnovers again. And, you know, it wasn't like they was turning us over. It was just like we was trying to make the right play, or we was moving too fast. We just got to go watch film and, you know, just study the mistakes and execute them next game.
Yeah, Shakur, you said one of the keys would be to play smarter and also to want it more. What do you do to flip that switch to want it more, and what do you mean by play smarter?
We just gotta calm down, you know, not try to make the home run pass, as Coach says. Just make it a regular pass, a little base hit pass. We just gotta play more poised. Like just pretty much, we gotta just watch all the other teams and how they played against us, and how poised and how smart they were, and how they run their stuff and execute it. I believe as soon as we figure that out, then the rest of the season can turn around completely.
Shakur, can it be as simple as nothing went your way, nothing fell? Can it be as simple as just forgetting about it? Or, I mean, is there more to it? I mean, do you have to actively, proactively fix things?
I mean, things not going our way. I'm not going to blame it on nobody, no ref, no basketball, nothing. It's a game of basketball. That's how it goes. As far as, like, not thinking about it, we have to think about the loss and think about the things we did wrong so we can fix them for the next game and furthermore.
By the middle of the second half, you guys were shooting 28% from the field and only had 8 assists. Was this because of lack of intensity, turnovers, or sloppy ball movement?
I just believe it was just us just moving too fast. We just had to be more patient. I mean, some of those shots were good shots. They just didn't go in. I mean, that's how it go.
With the way that everything resulted tonight, what are you guys going to do to put this game behind you guys so going forward in conference play, you guys can play at a higher level of intensity and believe in you guys yourself?
Just got to come in practice tomorrow with a clear mind and just believe that as long as we work hard, tables will turn and, you know, things will come, you know, better on our behalf. And you never know. The next game could be our best game, and then the next game after that could be our best game. And as long as the domino effect, then we can have a greater season.